and welcome back to the Dream Life Loading Podcast, Season 2, Episode 3. I'm your co-host, Sky.
And I'm your co-host, Susan. How are you today, Sky?
I am good. I am a little bit tired. My sleep schedule has been a little crazy over the past week, but no complaints, and I'm grateful that I'm able to kind of adjust my sleep schedule with the way our lives are. So, no complaints. I'm good. I'm happy. The weather, I feel like we're entering the fall, which I know is the whole point of today's episode, but it's good vibes outside and it's helping me with how tired I am be in a good mood. So, how are you?
I'm good. It's sunny here, which is refreshing after the rainy, soggy summer we had. But I'm in a great mood. Maggie Ash, get out of my purse. Sorry about that. She's been naughty girl lately. To head first into my duffel bag. And I do have snacks in there, but those are for me. Um, so I'm good. We had a busy but good weekend, and I feel like I got to reset in all the ways, and now it's officially fall in our house, which is so fitting for today's episode. So we can jump right in on all things fall.
I love that. Do you have decor up already?
I do, and that's one of the things on my list
Yes.
was fall decor. And so we're in our house for the first fall season, and our apartment, while it was spacious and great, there wasn't really space for decor. So this is the first time since like decorating with my mom as a child that we have decor. So I like did a DIY spell book situation. I made little witch books out of recycled books from actually the dump, and I painted them black and made them all cute. And I got mums for our front steps, which I'll have to send you a picture of those because those
Yeah.
are beautiful. And just like having intentional, cute decor that doesn't cost a lot, but makes your house like cozy and spooky at the same time has been great.
I love that. It's always so hard being in places that aren't not even just like not your permanent home, but like with us moving around so much, just trying to figure out what decor is worth buying. And then because you want to have those pieces of home, and the hard thing for me here is Halloween is not celebrated like at
Yeah.
all. And I love Halloween. I love Halloween time. So I remember because I didn't come until the end of October last year, so I still got a little bit of like spooky season in New England, which is so special. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to get that at all this year. So I'm trying to figure out like, is it worth it to buy some decor? But then like, what do we do with it next year? And then is it worth, so maybe I can do some DIY stuff, or at least if the grocery stores would sell like the fun little gourds and pumpkins, I know like you can do in the States,
Yeah.
little things like that, just to make it like festive.
I saw a really cute one that you could do with newspaper, but this girl used like the inside of an old Harry Potter book and she cut out like ghosts and then made it into garland. But you could do that with newspaper so that you're not like buying a book and doing that. But
Yeah.
that's an
I should
option.
do some research and figure out, or I can take, I bet there's like secondhand bookstores or something here that I could do even the idea you
Yeah.
did, because those are so cute.
So, and they were so easy. It was literally under $10. The most expensive part was buying the paintbrushes just because I didn't have paintbrushes here. And I
Surprising.
painted them black and I used a gold Sharpie and did all my little things, which that's on my TikTok. So if you guys want to actually see how the books came out, you can go there to see what they came out like.
It's so cute. I think so like decor is definitely the easiest way to like get into the fall mood, but if you're not able, or like me, if you're not able, or if you just aren't into, I know some people are like, I'm like they don't want to decorate their home, like they've done their home a certain way,
Yeah.
they don't want to change it, which I can understand, even though I would definitely want to decorate. But I think my comfort show changes season to season, and that's usually a way like Gossip Girl in the Christmas time. If you've seen Gossip Girl, like those Thanksgiving Christmas time episodes are perfect. But then my fall show is and has always been Gilmore Girls. And I'm so happy that you are now becoming a Gilmore Girls fan, because if you have not seen Gilmore Girls, it is the ultimate fall show. It's just perfect.
It's always fall. It's either fall or Christmas, which is beautiful.
Yep.
I watched, like I say watch, I have my air quotes on here. Gilmore Girls. I have two older sisters. They're 13 and 11 years older than me. So that was like their show that they loved Gilmore Girls. It was always on. And I remember I always text you about this, but I was always so confused, like when I was younger, on who the mom was because Rory has her shit together and Lorelai is just so free spirited. And I was I was legitimately confused. Like I could not keep those two in order. And it's so funny watching it now because I'm like, oh my God. And season one, I've seen every single episode and I didn't realize until I was rewatching it now. And I was like, I know what happens because I was, 4 or 5 watching this with my sisters. And it's just funny that now I'm older and I'm actually enjoying it for myself, which thank you, because if you didn't say like you have to watch this, I would have just kept rewatching Pretty Little Liars because that's my default fall show. But I'm very excited because it's warm, it's fuzzy. I can put it on and I don't really have to like pay attention. You can follow the storyline enough.
Mhm.
That has been like I'm cooking and Gilmore Girls is on. Like Chris will like come around the corner and be like, "Is that Gilmore Girls?" Like he wants to be into it, so we're working on it. He's my Luke.
Yes, I know, seriously. And I'm so happy that you have finally gotten into this show because like you said, it's the perfect fall show, but it also is I don't know what it is about. I know some people cannot stand to rewatch something they've already seen, but like I will rewatch the same movies every year,
Yeah.
the same, not even just like fall things, but like I have like the same 6 movies that I will rewatch over and over and over again. Same with shows. Like I don't remember the last time I watched a new show, like Nick and I'll watch new shows together. But if it's just me, I even tried this weekend to watch the new season of Sweet Magnolias, which is a very fall show. Like it's like a Hallmark movie in a show. If you haven't seen it, you would love it. And I've been trying to watch the new season. I put it on for like 10 minutes and I was like, I have to go back to Gilmore Girls. Like there's just something so addictive
Yeah.
about like knowing what's gonna happen and just having that comfort show, and it's the perfect background show too, like you said, and there's something very special about having like the little songs between the scenes that play while you're
Mhm.
like cleaning your house or whatever. So that's like I would say like Gilmore, when I restart Gilmore Girls, that's like my number one way. It's like, okay, it's fall. Like that's the beginning for me. Is like Gilmore Girls is back on. We're ready. We're in the season.
I absolutely love that. Well, while we're on the terms of like having it on in the background of things, one of my categories was organizing. So, what is one way that you organize for fall?
I mean, it's so okay, I guess I actually do because I was thinking I was like, "Oh man, like I just came back from being home." So I think I did a lot of my like quote unquote fall organizing when I like packed up some of my summer stuff and brought it home and then brought some new
Mhm.
pieces back. So fall shopping is definitely something that I will always take the opportunity to do. So I did a little bit of fall shopping last week actually, and then I did some when I was home and brought that stuff back. And then just this past week and weekend, I took all the summer stuff in my closet, and we don't have storage that I could like put it somewhere else. So I kind of moved it to the back of my closet and moved all my fall pieces to the front. And I love seeing like the uniform of like all the neutral pretty colors
Neutrals, yes.
the fall. So that was probably my number one like prep and like pulling my boots back out, things like that. I think that's like the biggest fall organ. I know like spring cleaning is a big thing. I think for me, fall is just like the changing of the clothes, like bringing the jackets back out, like all of that, and like really getting on Pinterest and figuring out like what I can do with all the pieces, like because I had obviously most of the same pieces I had last year. Like how can we switch it up and like try some new things, which I think is a fun way to like get into the new season too.
I feel like accessorizing is such a big thing right now too, which is like awesome for you where you're in a situation where you have the same pieces, but you can totally style it so differently. And because it's so in, there's more inspiration out there for that.
Absolutely. Headbands, I think. You've been such a
I'm
head.
wearing one right now. I will not go back. I You could not catch me in 2008 without a headband.
I
And
know.
now I understand why. It keeps my hair out of my face. I don't have the line from having a ponytail like half up, half down. My hair's just too thick to just let it do whatever it wants.
Yep.
So the headband, it's back and I'm not getting rid of it.
They're so
Just here
cute.
to
Like
stay.
I love like you said, little accessories like that, like a fun bag with a neutral outfit. I love that because that's so
Mhm.
easy to switch it up. And then another fall trend that I am really loving this season is I'm sure it's not a new trend, but I've been seeing it a lot, is like a really chunky oversized sweater with like a little mini skirt. And
Yeah,
that's something that I never really was able to do in New Hampshire because it was just we would have like really really hot summer and then it would get too cold too fast, which I think is what you're
yeah.
experiencing. But here, yesterday it's October and yesterday was like 75 degrees. So I literally got to do that outfit and it's just so fun to be able to play around with like fall fashion and like things that I've always wanted to do but weather-wise couldn't do. So kind of like taking advantage of being in a different place where there's so many other things we can't do not being in the States. So that is one that's been really fun. Just like changing up your style and doing like really taking advantage of Pinterest. Like I love Pinterest for fall fashion. There's so many good inspo and so much good inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Kind of bouncing off of that, I have in the fall, I always do a deep clean 1 day a week. I mean, I clean my house daily, but even like in the summertime, we're not, Sundays end up usually being our travel days coming home from wherever we were. So that you don't have like a full day to like clean. But in the fall, we tend to be home because football.
Yeah.
So because of said football, which I'm very into now that Taylor Swift is
Mhm.
attending the games. Chris last night, he's like, you're only into this because Taylor's there. And I'm like, aren't you glad that we're sharing a passion? Like
Right.
how
Right.
we got here does not matter.
It doesn't.
And I do want to shout out the NFL because they introed the video or they introed the football game with a Swifty like coded montage of them explaining football with Welcome to New York in the background because it was a Jets game. So they're in New York. That was the background. And then the announcer is saying all these things. Like, I can't even tell you how many titles of her songs were in it. He was saying, like, the quarterback's the mastermind and all of this stuff. It was,
My
I had goosebumps. I had goosebumps, Sky. And I was like, Chris, isn't this the greatest? I'm like jumping up and down. And he's like, oh my God. Like,
He
it
should
was
be
the
jumping
best
up
thing
and down
ever.
too. You're watching football with him. Like, get on board.
Yes, I'm actually into it. I'm not just because
Yeah.
I played fantasy football with them last year and we're playing again this year. Last year, I just picked, this is going to sound so dumb. I swear. I would pick based off the colors that I liked of the
Sure.
teams because you just picked like
You
whatever
have to
team.
pick
This
somehow.
year, I'm actually into it. I'm learning because everyone is dumbing down friggin' football so us Swifties understand what's going on.
Mhm.
And it has enhanced my life. So thank you, NFL, Taylor Swift, all the people making this dream possible of mine.
That. That's so funny. And that is like the perfect Sunday is football
Yes.
Sunday with the snacks. And do you make fun snacks for football Sundays?
Yes, we do. And now Thursdays are going to turn into football at our house with our friends,
Oh,
and they've already been putting in their requests for food. So this Thursday, we're making cheeseburger casserole.
ooh.
We'll see how that goes. I guess it's like a tater tot base, and then you put all the things on top. So yeah, which that kind of segues me into one of my other
Yeah,
topics here, which was food.
perfect.
Favorite fall food? Go.
The first thing that comes to mind, my mom always used to make this, and I need to get the recipe to try and do it here if I can, is her turkey pumpkin chili. It sounds, I guess it doesn't even sound weird having put pumpkin in the chili, but it's not weird. It's delicious, and I have so many memories of her making it in like a big crock pot on
Mhm.
trick-or-treating day. So a bunch of us kids would either trick or treat first and then eat, or eat and then trick or treat, whatever it was. But like so many specific memories of that chili being eaten around
Yeah.
Halloween time. And it's just so cozy. It's so warm. It's so flavorful with like the cinnamon and the pumpkin and the chili. And it's delicious. So I can't get pumpkin very easily here. So I might have to adapt the recipe, which would be sad. But it's so good. It's just, that's like my go-to fall food. I think soups in general, honestly, but that one is like the first
Yeah.
thing that comes to mind. What about you?
I have wanted a crock pot forever. And at our apartment, we just didn't have like the counter space and we didn't have we cupboard space and we had no closets. So it was a no-go for the crock pot. But Chris found me a crock pot for $30 at Walmart last weekend. So
Oh,
I was so excited. We got it. It's red, it's beautiful. And I made the copycat version of chicken gnocchi soup from Olive Garden in my crock pot. It was delicious. Chris was even like, this might be one of the best soups you've made. It was so good. And I'm just very excited to be like using that. And tonight I'm actually going to make in the crock pot barbecue chicken and like tear it apart. I don't, it's
yeah.
essentially pulled pork, but chicken.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to wrap it in a crescent roll so it looks like a wreath. And I'm
Cute.
very excited about that.
Wow. I love that. What a fun idea.
I was going to make it yesterday, but then we ended up going to my in laws for dinner, which was awesome. I was like, I don't have to cook.
Yeah.
And it was great. We had a great time.
That's so great. Oh, you need to send me the recipe for this, the Olive Garden soup because it sounds so good.
Yes, I will.
We're such soup people. I would eat, like, we were eating soup all summer long just because But like now, especially that it's like getting colder, I would eat soup
Yeah.
every single day of the week. And like I have a list on my phone of literally just like soups and their recipes and all the
Yeah.
different and like a tomato soup and grilled cheese on like a Sunday afternoon. Like there's just these fall things you really can't beat it.
So that is on my list. I want to make like a homemade
Mhm.
tomato soup because I've never done that
So much
before.
easier than you would think. And if I don't know what recipe you would find, but I like it when you roast the tomatoes ahead of time and then blend them.
Yep.
Oh, because you get like the flavor of like the roasted, and it's just so good. And it is really easy. It's so an easier soup.
That does sound delicious. How about fall drinks? On
Yeah, I
all
forgot to go to
from
fall.
coffee to the bar. What
Yeah.
are we drinking?
Okay, well, coffee to the bar. My two drinks that I literally wrote down were coffee and then alcohol. Of course, pumpkin coffee. And I think I did tell you this. Yes, I did. Of course, I did. This morning that pumpkin is
Yes, you
at Nespresso Italy, which is so good because we don't get like American flavored coffees, like stuff like that is just not a thing here, which very understandable. I understand that's a very North American thing, but Nespresso does get some of the fun flavors. Not all of them. I know gingerbread you can get at Nespresso America, and I
did. Yum.
can't get it here, which is a little bit heartbreaking. But we can get the pumpkin, and it's not even just pumpkin, it's pumpkin spice pound cake coffee flavor. It's incredible. It has like cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla with the pumpkin. And so I need to stock up. I don't know if I'll bother to go to the store again, but I might just order online and stock up because the pumpkin coffee, you taste it and it smells, it's fall.
I don't know if you know this, but you took my latte virginity at Breaking New Grounds,
Mhm.
and it was a gingerbread latte, and you created an absolute monster because that from then on, I was like, I need that. And
Yep.
I drank hot lattes all the way through the semester. And when I came home for Christmas break, I thought I had a brain tumor because
Oh,
I was having ocular migraines. I went to the eye doctor. He's like, "You're having caffeine withdrawals." And I was like,
oh,
oh, because all we had up here at the time was Dunkin'. Like Dunkin's not hitting like a lot, like a real latte.
yep,
So yeah, the gingerbread, I that makes me sad for you because
yep.
gingerbread latte goes incredibly hard.
Yes, it does. I totally forgot because I forgot when we met, you didn't even like coffee.
I didn't drink it. No, but rightfully so. We didn't have like an actual
Right.
coffee shop up here yet.
Yeah.
Now we have Inkwell, which is amazing, and it's very much like breaking new grounds.
Yep.
But yeah, no,
So funny.
they'll get my coffee fix here.
Yeah. Yeah.
On my list, I have apple cider in any capacity. I like it cold. I like it hot. I like it in a mimosa. I like it as a margarita. Like
Ooh.
you can't mess it up. It's so good. And I could drink it. We buy it by the gallon
Oh
because
yeah. We can't get apple cider here, which is so heartbreaking
oh
because I'm literally looking out my window at an apple orchard. And you'd think with like where we are in like the northern Italy, we have like the Germany influence and the Italian influence. I would just assume that cider and hard cider, like all of that would be right up their alley, but it's really not a thing. We can get like really fresh, good apple juice, and that's very much a part of the culture, but it's not the same. But we're hosting a little dinner party thing on Sunday, and I was like, I would love to be able to do an apple cider mimosa. And Nick was like, "Oh my God, I've never heard of this. Like, what?" And I was like, "What do you mean you never heard of this? Like, this is whatever." So I really want to do it, especially because he's never had it. But I don't know if it would be the same with apple juice. So I'm thinking, what if I do like a ton of cinnamon, or maybe, I want something with apple.
yeah,
I want to do like orange. So I'm gonna try it with the apple juice, and
do
I feel like it
sangria. You could make an apple cider sangria and just use instead of a white wine, use the champagne. But
yeah,
then you could add orange and cinnamon sticks and
yeah.
like extra into it. It's going to be a little less
And
because
I
I don't know. I feel like an apple juice mimosa probably would taste the same. It's just going to be sweeter.
Right. Yeah, it would be. So maybe, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna report back on how it goes
Oh,
because,
and add cranberries too. There you go.
ooh, yep. And I think cinnamon stick, like a cinnamon stick is are automatically gonna like change the
Yeah,
look, the vibe, the flavor. But yeah,
absolutely.
that's on my list for sure.
My coffee or drink right now is a from Starbucks anyways, is the chai latte with almond milk and 2 pumps of pumpkin sauce. That's delicious. They were out of it's like every other time I go, they're out of chai. I told you about my Starbucks debacle a couple weeks ago, right? every friggin' day I went to get this drink and they were out of chai. Heartbreaking. So it was fine. Anyways, the pumpkin spice iced latte with almond milk with pumpkin cold foam is a spectacular second to this. It's just not as smooth. Like you can't, the chai is just so smooth.
It is.
But that is another great one. And then this one might surprise you coming from me, but I had it on Friday. I had a couple of them on Friday and delicious Blackberry Margarita.
I can see that being a you drink.
And I don't ever venture that way, but
Yeah.
they were like, it's a $4, you get four for $4. And I was like, okay, I drank
Yeah.
one and a half and then I was done. But it was delicious. And I really like that. Like it's giving kind of fall because it's a little tart, but it's also kind of sweet. It was really good.
Yeah. Yum. Yeah. Blackberry. Yeah.
I don't know how to make it,
I
but
guess you're more of a sweet drink girl because I was like, you like tequila. Like I can see, but that's probably a less sweet tequila drink for you.
yeah, I prefer like it. I want it to taste like sugar and not
Yeah.
alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Good.
a little I'm a little kid when it comes to
Yes.
that.
You're expanding your palate. I love it. One
I
of
always feel like
yeah.
you're my grown-up friend. You're
Oh,
my grown-up friend
really?
when it comes to drinking. Yes. You
Okay.
always have like these sophisticated like if you didn't know that the drink was going to you, you'd think it's going to like a 70-year-old man, like with a pocket watch and like
That's, I mean, I made it a goal because I love olives. I wanted to learn to like gin martinis. And so I like tried them. I turned 21. And I remember I would try like sips of my day. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to order one myself, like, because this sounds so, it didn't sound disgusting to me. Like, it sounded really good. And then I remember it was late November of 2022. So I was just about to turn 2021. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
2021, you'd be turning 2022
Yeah.
or you'd be turning 22.
Whatever. It was late November. I was about to turn 22 at the beginning of December, and I finally ordered one at a restaurant and drank the whole thing and very much enjoyed it. So I was like I had my goal of liking martini by the time I was 21. So, yeah, you can train yourself. I was doing it with something else too. I don't remember. But beer is the one thing I really can't get behind. I think there's a lot of like fall beers, but I really can't. I've tried.
No, I can do ciders, different flavored ciders.
Yeah.
I have a pumpkin chai cider
Oh my
it's
God,
fun.
those down east ones, the pumpkin,
Yes.
the cider donut.
The cider donut ones. Yeah, those are all really good.
So
Actually, this reminds me of you because you live kind of close to Germany now.
yes.
We had Oktoberfest in our town and they shut down the back part of Main Street. And it was like a whole, I thought they were going to have it like just at the restaurant that was hosting it. No, it was like the whole block. It was a giant block party, which was like actually so
Oh,
cool. I was
that's
like, oh,
awesome.
like a mini version.
That's so fun. One of my favorite things we did last year before I moved, we were trying to like pack in all the fall stuff. So we did like apple picking and all the things, which I love fall in New England. I don't think there's anything better than fall in New England. It is
There's
such
not.
a perfect, especially where you live. It's perfect. And so I had never been to Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween. And my mom and I and my best friend Mercedes were all huge Halloween people. So we were like, with Sky moving, like, let's do it. So we went in, I think even like early October. It was right before I moved, and we did the whole day there, and it was so crowded. So I don't know if I would ever do it again, but it was the best memories, and it was such a perfect day, and it like, oh my God, like you just feel like you're entering Halloween Town. The way, have you ever
Yeah.
been during Halloween Town?
No.
It's like I say, like it's so crowded, but like doing it once, it's so special. And you can go visit the house that like the Hocus Pocus house that where like Max lived and the museums, even the little shops, everything is just so decorated. Everyone's in costumes, like all the restaurants have like fall themed everything, Halloween themed everything. It's so perfect, especially if you love Halloween. It's like you just feel like you're in the movie. It's in
Oh, I
any
love.
movie. It's incredible.
Well, this is the perfect spot to insert our question of the week because I forgot to do it in the beginning.
No, this is
What
good.
would you be for Halloween if you were dressing up this year? Or if you are dressing up, but if you were going to dress up.
I mean, it's lame because it's so popular, but like the first thing that comes to mind is Barbie.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Because
You could have hockey Ken.
I could. I was Barbie. in like seventh grade or something, and
Yeah.
now it's gonna be like a thing to be Barbie. So I'm like, if I already did it, I feel like I have to do it again. But I'm sure I could think of something more creative, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, and I feel like that's pretty fitting.
I still like your most iconic Halloween look that I have seen to date was your Hannah Montana
Yep.
look. That was pure gold. That was so
I
good.
don't know if I'll ever beat it. So the fact that it was like my last American Halloween for at least a while, that was a good thing, a good way to go out.
I love that. So Chris is not a Halloween guy. Chris is very scared of spooky things and he's never enjoyed dressing up or that sort of thing. So we did get invited to a Halloween party and me and my other friend are trying to convince him to go. But the thing is, if you go, you have to be dressed up.
Mhm.
So it's me, Chris, and my friend John. And I think we're going to be Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey
Oh
if
my
we
God.
we can get him to go. But obviously Chris will be Shrek, I will be Fiona, and John will be Donkey. And it's just so fitting for the trio that we are.
Hilarious. That's so funny. Isn't your Wi-Fi network something about the swamp?
Yeah, so so it's
I think
our
it's like
swamp.
really perfect. Yep. Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's a
We have a
huge
lot of
stimulus.
we're both Chris has a ginger beard, I have red hair, and Chris is always until he had his gallbladder out, which is where his bad attitude was stored. He was always so grumpy, in general, like he was just so pissy. So he was always Shrek because he's like, I just want alone time. I just want to be in my swamp and left alone. And I'm very much not like that. And then we have I guess Maggie could be Donkey too if we were just referencing like
Yeah,
the actual household. But yeah, so that just
that's so
it
freaking.
works.
Yep. I hope you can get him to go.
I do too. I'm gonna get him the ears no matter what. Like
Yes.
he can wear the ears.
Yep. I'm wondering because we do have a lot of North Americans here, like in the hockey community this year. So I'm wondering if maybe we'll even do like something small, like a little Halloween party,
Yeah,
something, just because I feel like a lot of us would be like missing that culture is the wrong word, but like that tradition. So
yeah,
there's always ways to like make it work, even if it's different.
subtle.
And
Yeah.
movies. I think we didn't talk about movies
Oh
somehow,
yeah.
but like that's well, I mean, Christmas movies, it's like the second it hits anything that can be like considered Christmas time, I'll start going through my list of Christmas movies, but Halloween movies are so special too.
Yeah.
What are
Well,
your
oh,
favorites? Your
well, obviously Hocus Pocus,
yes, yes,
Halloween. Like you have to go with those two.
yes.
And then Scooby Doo.
Mm. Yep. I like watching all the like Halloween episodes of old Disney, not old, but like Disney shows like that
Yes.
I love on Disney Plus, they'll even put a category during the Halloween time where you can just go through and specifically pick the Halloween episode. So like that special ghost episode of Zach and Cody and
Oh yeah.
like the Hannah Montana ones, like all of those. I love watching those because that's like so nostalgic and they're short and just like so very like cheesy Halloween.
I should do that. I've never even thought about doing that because I don't think I would have had the capacity to like search for them. But if
Yeah.
they have them like lined up, that's a game changer.
Yes.
Twitches and Twitches too. I
Yep.
forgot about those.
Mm-hmm. So
I've
many.
never done like I've never really gotten into the spooky side of fall.
Yeah.
I've just never had time. Like last year I was wedding planning, the year before that I was teaching, and now I'm really enjoying the simple things and I actually have time to like sit down and watch a movie and not be multitasking.
Fully embrace. Yes.
It's amazing. What was the other reads.
Yes, of course.
Do you want to go first?
My current read or like fall reads that I want to read.
Both. Mine intertwined, so
Still reading The Things We Left Behind. This is
book.
I have been spending this it is a huge book and then I was like under the weather and then just so freaking busy honestly, so I haven't been reading as much as I normally would, but I'm really enjoying it. So I'm almost done with that. And then for fall reads, you recommended one to me that you said you didn't like but you thought I would like. Do you remember the name of it?
If we were villains.
Yes. So that's on my list. And then maybe a Stephen King or two. I feel like it's been a while since I've read Stephen King and Nick's actually reading a Stephen King book right now. So maybe I'll read that one when he's done, or I brought back another one. I can't see the name. I can't see the name of it. It's sitting over there. But yeah, Stephen King always is good, like spooky reads for the fall time.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. I'm reading The Lost Apothecary. It was one I had to buy. 1000% recommend. I'm obsessed. It's slower paced than the other books that I've read, but
Mhm.
it is so good and rich in detail. It is like vibrant off the
Okay,
page and spooky and it's eerie and I love it. You would really like this one.
okay, good to know.
And then I read Flicker in the Dark and Don't Let Her Stay. Both were thrilling in the best way possible. And I highly recommend those for fall reads if you want something that gets you on the edge of your seat, your heart racing a little bit.
Good. I remember I told you about this over the Stuff Your Kindle or like free Kindle day, whatever it was. I was able to get a trilogy of 3 books that were really, really popular on TikTok that were not so much spooky, but very like fantasy sci-fi. They were called like
Mm-hmm.
A Court of Thrones. I don't know if
A
that's
quarter,
yes,
yes,
yes. So I got all 3 of those books for like $4 on my
which
Kindle.
is insane because they are
They're
like
expensive.
I think you can get all 6 of them now for like $60 or
Right.
something like that.
So I was like, I have to get it, and even if I never read them, like the $4 is worth it. And I figured I would at least read the first one, but I kind of held off because I thought it would be better in the winter time to read like a fantasy creature
Yes.
like that. So I'm glad we're talking about this because it'll put it back on my to be read list.
I think that's one of Yana's favorite series she's ever read. Like she
Really?
loves it.
Good to
Yes.
know. Okay, great.
Highly recommended. What's your quote of the week?
Okay. My quote of the week is we've been talking about this a lot with like I feel like I'm entering like my fearless era, like we've said, and just like in a phase of being very like secure in like me and my life and like what I want and just all of these different things,
Yeah.
like really trying not to rely on like external opinions or anything, just like really secure in me. And so I found this quote that is confidence is silent, insecurity is loud. And I really
Wow.
like that. Yep.
I like that a lot.
Yep.
Wow, that is so good. We don't even have to explain that. Just let that sink in, folks.
Yep.
My quote of the week is I never dreamed of success, I worked for it.
Yes.
And I feel like that's very fitting for our name too, because we are Dream Life Floating, but not one person in our community is sitting back and waiting for anything to happen. Like
Hmm.
we are all working towards what we want.
Yep.
And
Even if
I
it's like, even if the way you're working towards it is like not physically out there making it happen, but like if you're doing the internal work where like you're helping
yeah.
yourself, you're journaling, you're manifesting, all of these things are going to add up to it. So I think that's like it goes with it too, where it often can seem like you're not doing something, but then like think about all the things you are doing. Like if you're going to the gym, if you're eating well, if you're prioritizing yourself and your mental and physical health, like these are all things that are stepping stones to living that success that you want.
Yeah, because then once you have control of what's inside, when you don't have control of what's around you, you can still control how you respond and react accordingly,
Yep. So many
which is,
little things you can do to like add up to the big things.
yep.
Mhm.
What's your favorite for the week?
My favorite of the week is the color red. And I don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't know. I've had a calling to red. And I know red is a very good luck color in Italy. I remember last New Year's Eve, we like hung out with some of our friends and I was wearing all black. And they turned to me and they were like, "Where's your red?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, I'm not, I didn't, what?" Like, I was like, "I don't know." And they're like, you have to wear, it's like Italian tradition, you wear red on New Year's Eve because it brings luck into the new year. Like red is their color. And I was like, oh, I actually had my nails painted red because it was the holiday season. So I was like, great, like we got something there. But I've been seeing little signs of red just in day-to-day life and like things that I normally wouldn't turn towards that are red, I'm now turning towards. So just a lot of different things with the color red. And I'm thinking that like a new little bag, like a little bright red, teeny tiny shoulder bag would be the perfect fall accessory going into this winter and Christmas time, of course, even. So yeah, the color red, I'm really vibing with red, which is new for me.
I was gonna say that's so not you, but I love it. And I mean, it's the base of pink, so it makes sense.
Yep.
I really like that for you. My favorite is daily life audits because I do like weekly big ones and monthly big ones I check in. but a daily one where I just go through in my head the categories of my life and rate them 1 to 10. And then I just take the lowest scoring one and I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on that today.
Yep.
And that has been really changing to my intention and my time and how I spend my day. And I found it very fulfilling and gratifying.
Why don't we make a 1 page or 1 day life audit?
Yeah, I think that can be done today.
Yep.
Done by the end of the day, folks.
Something if you're intimidated by the size of the life audit because it's a beast.
It is. It's big.
But something someone could do once a day, once a week, something
Like a mini.
Yep. Really small.
That's beautiful. What a great way to end this.
Good. Yeah, good idea, Susan. Wow. Yep. Love it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, leave us a review, leave us a comment, send us a DM if there's a specific topic you want to hear about. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for listening.